YouTube, what is up? Welcome back to another video on the channel. Today I gotta get a car wash in the GR86. This car is so unbelievably dirty right now. Like, it rained the other day. I went to go see a movie. I went to go watch or no, it wasn't the movies, my bad. I'm thinking of last week or a week before last. But last week, you know, in one of my previous videos, I was driving this car to go to the eye doctor, whatever. I went to the eye doctor and it rained really, really bad. And basically, you know, drove through a storm, went home, didn't think much of it because the car was wet. Turn around, come to find out, you know, hop in the car today, and the car is literally just like super dirty, right? Like, it's, I don't know what it is about rain today that makes the car so dirty. I guess it's because the air is just so polluted now, maybe. I don't know what's going on, but every time it rains, like, my car is pitch yellow. Like, this, keep in mind, this is a black car. This is a black car that is turning yellow from the rain. I have no idea how that works. Like, how is that possible? Because, you know, doesn't, like, rain technically just come from the ocean or like the rivers or something, you know? I'm not really, I don't know too much science on that, but I just have no idea why that keeps happening, you know? Doesn't make sense. But besides that point, I really got to get a wash on this car, so I'm probably gonna hit a car wash. And I kind of want to go to the Buc-ee's car wash. I was at Buc-ee's this morning. I was gonna get a car wash, but I was like, man, I don't really feel like getting a car wash right now, so I kind of put it off a little bit. Over revs right there. But I put it off for a little bit, and I guess I'm just gonna get one now, because why not? I've gotten a lot better with shifting in the car and driving a manual without rev match. I feel like I've really, like, finally got it down. It kind of feels like second nature to me. When I hopped in the car this morning, because I had to get gas, I was on like 50 miles of gas. I hopped in the car this morning and I just instantly just, like, you know, took off quick, shifting gears. I was shifting so smooth, I even, like, caught myself. I was like, wait a second, how am I shifting this good right now? Like, have I actually got it down packed? So, you know, I'm just sitting here shifting through gears and all that, and I was like, dang, this is actually awesome. Like, I'm genuinely doing this right now. And even with the downshifts, guys, like, I've gotten really good with downshifting. That one was a little overdoing it because I'm just excited, but it is crazy, and it's honestly amazing, like, how much you can learn, you know, in such a short period of time, bro. Really cool stuff. So I've been working on my business today. I have my website built. I have my landing page website built, but the actual interface itself, I am building that currently, if that makes sense. I have my landing page, which is just, you know, right now for, you know, marketing purposes. It'll be for marketing purposes, talking about the company. But then I have my actual, you know, business page for the clientele and things like that. So, like, landing page, I guess, to better explain it for you guys, because I'm not really gonna out what it is yet, because I haven't, it's not launchable just yet, and it won't be till probably later this year, honestly, because there's a lot of stuff that has to get worked on, a lot of implementations that have to be set into effect. Got to get a lot of got to make sure, you know, policies and procedures are compliant with laws today, things like that are right for the type of business that I'm getting into. Also have to take into consideration, clientele's information and payment information, things like that, because it's something that would be stored. So there's a lot of stuff that's getting implemented in this business and things that have to get set in stone. So that's why it's taking me a while, because I mean this is the first time I'm doing like a really big business. Like I have eBay that I make money on the side from. I have like clothing brand that I've worked on, make a little bit on the side. I don't really make that much from my clothing brand. I only make like, I make side hustle money from my clothing brand. Do with that what you will, but like with my clothing brand, I didn't really have payment information stored, things like that. It's either you order it online, or for the people who knew me, I just sold it to them locally and they had first dibs. So it's kind of like that situation. eBay, eBay's eBay. They pay eBay pays me whatever. That's cool. But with this one, since I'm building this business from the ground up, like this is solely me. I don't have any help, which makes it 10 times harder. I am going to hire on like engineers, looking into hiring people like that for a little while, which will be interesting. But I'm excited for it because it'll also be a learning process for me. And, I'll get to work with people in the tech field, which I'm already familiar with anyways. So it'll be fun and a very fun, cool process to do. But it's just going to take a while to implement all this. And yeah, but I've been working on it today a little bit. Kind of getting a little bit of the nitty-gritty down, laying down foundations of what I need to do, what is it I need to lay out for this business to start it out. I have a lot of plans and ideas that I want to do under my business branch, but as my main sole product of my business, that's what I need to work on. My issue is I tend to, what's the word? Vendor off. I don't know if that's the right word or correct term. I'll just say I tend to lean off of the main product that I need to be focusing on to launch the business first, and to the other parts of the business that I plan on doing in the future, like apps and things like that. I tend to lean off and start on those little things instead of focusing on the one main product, which I need to focus on first, which with this main product, I already have like 2 clientele that I have planned out already that I will reach out to when the product is ready, because I know, since I've worked in the industry, in the field of these two, they're 2 different fields, but since I've worked in the 2 fields, I understand the market, I understand what's needed, and I understand what they're missing. So I already have like 2 clientele that I'm going to reach out to and try to sell my product to, and hopefully have the service, and it'll be a really cool, fun thing. This business has the potential to be a really, really big company. It does. The more and more I work on it, and the more people I add on, the help, and the more it just gets, the more professional it gets, the more additions that get added, the business, I mean, it could scale beyond imagination. And I mean, I can imagine, you know, what life would be like for me if it scaled. Best believe, like, you know, I'd be traveling like crazy, man. I'd be living the perfect life. But I can imagine it because I can see it happening. If I just stick with it, stay disciplined, if I keep God first and keep this business, work with it through God, man, I just know, I see the vision. I know what my life will be like. It's one of those where I'm super excited to do it. And I mean, this can get me out of that 9 to 5 for good. This can set up like my family for generational wealth if done right. And I mean, it's an industry that's only going to grow, man, and it's just amazing to think of what I can do if I just work. Even though I'm tired, you know, at nighttime I want to sleep, I want to rest, can't give up, just work. If I just work, it will happen. And it's going to be a grind, man. I mean, it's a grind now, even building this up. Like, my LLC is not even registered as of right now, but I just paid for the name reservation, so I have the reservation for the name. I just have to register my LLC. So I mean, it's been a huge thing that I've been working on, and you know, I've been thinking about doing this for a very long time. I just never knew how to go about it. I did a lot of research, I watched a lot of YouTube. This is something I've been wanting to do for a very, very long time. I just didn't know how to go about it. I've been watching YouTube videos, reading books even, and you know, I used to like reading books when I was a kid. I don't really enjoy reading books now, but I'm starting to get back into that I like reading phase, so I'm very happy about that. But you know, it's a forever learning type of thing that you just have to be willing to do and put the time into, which I don't mind. I enjoy learning new things. I am blessed to have I'm very quick at picking up on things and understanding things. I'm very, very quick at that. So, I mean, that's a blessing right there in itself. But I'm super excited, man. Like, this is really going to be that business that I create where it's like main source of income. You know, and the best thing about it is what I'm creating. Yes, you know, we're always going to have to be, you know, worrying about fixes, or I apologize if the camera is crooked or not, I can't really tell, but you know, we're always going to have to worry about fixes, or you know, new products, new updates on our software, our interface, new integrations, things like that, which I mean every business does. But you know, when I hire a team and I have people working for me, you know, and I'm gonna pay people fair compensation. I'm not gonna be one of these CEOs that are just robbing their employees blind, man. Like, I'm gonna pay my workers I'm going to fairly compensate them, right? Because this wouldn't be done if it wasn't for them. You know, if it weren't for them. I'm speaking in future tense. it wouldn't be done. But it's going to be a really, 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 really sick thing, man. And I can't wait to share it with the channel and for you guys to see it yourselves. I mean, this will truly be that business. I've been thinking a lot, like, I love my G82 M4 comp, man. It's truly an awesome car, dream car. It's been my dream car for like 2-3 years, I'll say that. Like, I never even knew they existed 3 years ago because I wasn't into cars like that. It's been my dream car for 3 years and I finally got it in 3 years. But it's a very bittersweet thing. I know I've talked a lot about it on the channel, and I know C8s have always been on my mind, but there's something about Camaro Z01s, bro, where it's just like, there's like a drug in those cars, man. The Z01 is so peak. I love Camaros. Always been my favorite muscle car. Like I said before, I've decorated my garage to where it's literally just like a BMW garage. I've always been a fanboy of BMWs. I've wanted a BMW since I was a kid. I've always wanted a BMW. They've always been my dream cars. Originally, I didn't care what BMW it was. I just always wanted a BMW. And I could never get one because, my parents were like, oh, they're unreliable, blah, blah, blah. You don't need to get that. You need to get something reliable, things like that. So I never got one until now. And it's such a bittersweet thing, man. I love BMW, man. BMWs are my favorite brand of car outside of Corvette and Camaro. There's nothing that beats BMW except for Porsche. Porsche beats BMW, hands down. We all know this. But it's like, do I trade in my M4 comp for a Z01 or for a C7 Z06 if I can find one for the same price as my M4 comp? Or a C8 Stingray? Or just sell the car and, throw it all into investments and whatnot, like I've originally said I might do, which is what I still lean towards the most. But doing content so much and, me focusing my content on cars for the most part, for majority, like, I just want to provide like as much car content as I can without it getting boring and stale. Which, I mean, like, at the end all be all, I got the M4 comp specifically for content. And hence why I started the channel. Yeah, I mean, literally because of the BMW M4 comp. It was probably the stupidest thing I could have done. I mean, I could have just, why pay, so much a month on a car when I can throw that into stocks every month instead, you know what I mean? But, here I am because I want to take that risk to where I can do content, man. Like, it's a big goal of mine. So yeah, it's a very tricky thing, extremely tricky. I've also, me getting a ZL1 or yada yada, I feel like I'd be getting it for content instead of truly wanting it. I don't need it. Heck, I don't need the M4 comp. You know what I mean? I don't even drive it around that much except for when I'm filming content or going to the gym or just like, you know, a little run if I want to drive crazy. But at the end all be all, the car is just for content. And I mean, I see people making content on the GR86. I mean, it's a good car. It's not fast, not loud, but you can make it loud. Maybe not fast. The thing's always going to be slow. But I'm a very indecisive man, if you guys couldn't tell from my YouTube videos. Very indecisive. Might even be bipolar. I ain't gonna self-diagnose myself, but you know, it's just how it is, bro. I have an itch for a Corvette or a ZL1. I really do have the itch. And I don't know, man. I don't know. I've been thinking, but you know, I've also been thinking I need to stay humble and enjoy my car. Stay humble, and I think it's truly just a big pride and greed thing that is conjuring up and boiling up in me. There's like, oh, I need to get this Corvette. Oh, I need to get this ZL1 just to kind of show off a little bit. But you know, that's where it's very tricky, because it's like when you make car content, you kind of have to. Maybe you're not flaunting your vehicles for the wrong reasons. You know, you're flaunting it for content, just to show people, but you still have to flaunt what you have, and it's why it's a very bittersweet thing, and it's a thing I struggle with. You know, it's sin is, you know, greed, pride, and things of that nature, because, you know, I don't really. It's such a hard balance in today's society, you know, when you're trying to make content on these cars. Because it's just the way it has to be, you know. Like, you kind of have to show off. And, you know, I mean, I'm not necessarily gloating my vehicles. Like, oh, you wish you could get this. You know, I don't do that. And that's a little insane, but still. All right, guys, let me get this car wash going. But yeah, let me get in here and then we'll get right.